Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, District 1. How are you today?
I'm great.
I wanted to ask you, of course, we were just in attendance at the Meet the Finalists for Independent Monitors. Um, what is your takeaway overall of this meeting so far?
Mm, just kind of seemed like one team was more police. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's really concerning. Um, One side was more or less police reform. The other side was more community driven. I heard a lot of stuff from the community, empowering the community, things like that was coming from the left side. The right side was more or less police reform and they was more police driven. And this to me is not about the police. It's about what the community wants to see. The
Now,
community was affected by a lot of the police action. So then I'm also a little concerned about why is it that this room should have been filled. It was not filled. Um, I believe that I don't know why, but I just feel like that was probably a little intentional. A lot of people did not have knowledge that this meeting was going on. And then the community only has 24 hours to respond to a survey, and I'm lost about that. We've been going through this for quite some time, and y'all give us 24 hours to get the community to do a survey online to decide which side. Nah, that's not an even playing field, for me. So I'm concerned about that. But I'm definitely going to be speaking to my colleagues and speaking to the mayor about what that looks like. I just don't think 24 hours is enough time. So
and with that being said, with 24 hours not being enough time in your belief, did you feel that there was enough awareness,
absolutely not.
not only for this event, but for the
Absolutely not.
Louisville community commitment itself?
No, it should have been all over the news before now. Um, I mean, it should have been talked about before now. Like I just found out. So, and I hurried up and just came over here from the gym. So yeah, so I'm a little concerned about that. One of the things that I think that the city does is the lack of knowledge that a lot of the community members just don't have. Like when meetings like this happen, we should be blasting this everywhere. So that I'm concerned about it.
Now, very important question, possibly the last one. Since you believe that one day isn't enough time, and I share that belief with you, let me just
Yeah,
stress that. I share that, and that there wasn't enough awareness about this process altogether. Do you believe that these independent monitors will actually be able to be effective?
absolutely not. They won't even be here. I did hear one of them say that they were going to be reaching out to have maybe one or two monitors on their staff, right? Um, Nobody knows the community better than the people that live here, the people that's been affected, and these people live out of town. So I didn't even know. I just knew that the independent monitor. I thought the independent monitor would come from here.
Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you wanted to
Nope,
add?
that's it.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this event.
All right.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Here we are today with Councilman Ken Herndon, who represents District 4 in Metro Council. Of course, once again, we have just sat in attendance and bear witness to the Meet the Finalist event for the Independent Monitor as it relates to this city's community commitment, Louisville Consent Decree. Councilman Herndon, I just wanted to ask you overall, what were your feelings on this event?
Well, I think these are two very impressive teams of people, credentials, backgrounds. They've done this work before in other cities. I was impressed by some of the comments that one gentleman mentioned he'd been on both sides of monitors. Been on a police force, but also been a monitor of police forces. That's a nice balancing act. I'll be really interested to see what the public survey comments of those who are in attendance, but also who watched the live stream to see what the conclusions were. It's always interesting to hear folks from the general public as what they think. I'm a politician. I'm in office. I come to it from a certain angle, a certain point of view, but I like to hear what regular folks out there sitting at home watching this on their couches think. That's a really important point of view that I think is too often missed when we do this kind of thing.
I agree with you. And as far as regular citizens, not only giving feedback on this event, what do you think about the time frame? As it was said, there was a survey that's going to be released at the end of this meeting for community to give feedback and to respond. What do you think about that time frame? Is that enough time?
I think so. I mean, if you were here tonight or you're watching online, then you have a commitment to do that. It could be longer, honestly, but if that's I didn't make that decision, but if I would have made it maybe 48 hours. But nevertheless, the people who really are interested in the subject matter, interested in this process, I think we're already paying pretty close attention, either here in person or online, and they will be able to tell their friends. I would encourage them to tell their friends who they think might need to see it that they have 24 hours to watch it and to respond.
Now, Councilman Herndon, I wanted to ask you too, what are some of the best ways to make sure community is aware of what's happening and whatnot on this event to give proper feedback?
Well, I think your live stream is one. Certainly there should be considerable coverage on local news tonight and in the paper tomorrow. And again, that's all within a couple of hours of this event. So they would have a little less than 24 hours to check into it, but I would encourage them to do so. And I'm sure that they will on those news broadcasts. They will let people know that the time to respond is now and to do it now. I think that's important too, to give that immediate feedback. I think it's better than waiting a week and thinking about. I think people have a visceral, quick response, which I think they dismiss too often. I think that initial feeling is very often the right feeling, and I'd like to hear those comments pretty quickly to see what they thought.
Last question for you. Speaking of surveys, there was a survey that was put out from the mayor's administration on the survey focused on the 2 listening sessions that took place leading up to this event. Records show that there was 192 people who responded to that survey in particular. As it relates to the population in the city that this consent decree will affect, do you think with 192 versus that population that this process will be able to be effective?
I think that it can. You could argue that it couldn't with that few, but then on the other hand, national polling organizations will poll 1,500 people to 2,000 people across the country to get polling data on presidential elections and other issues. So there's a way to do accurate polling and survey data to understand what that can mean. Now, these are voluntary people on a national poll. Is a very scientific process. So it's not the same thing exactly. But I think that the folks that feel passionately about it, one way or the other, who have chosen to participate, and we are in a participatory democracy, that the people who show up are very often the one that change the world. That's an old saying, but that's true. And I think that we need to start understanding that if we want to affect change, that we have to participate, either with the polling data, survey results, or voting. We've got to learn to do that. If we don't, then we let other people make our decisions for us. And I hope that those 191 people got to say what they needed to say, and more importantly, were heard.
Councilman Herndon, thank you for your time. That's all the questions I had, unless you wanted to ask anything else. Or add anything else.
Oh, no.
Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of this evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Healthy Beginnings Connect Us offers resources, classes, and more. Visit us at 1141 South 2nd Street or www.blackbirthjustice.org.
I'm gonna do what my granddaddy taught me to do. And stand up for family and fight back. Because this thing is respected for too long.
One. like that. We're not gonna have our kids marching. This is it.
Once and for all!
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Patrick!
Justice for Patrick!
As a black man, I stand up for black women.
I don't want to say another motherfucking name!
Kanye Jordan!
400 years later, not a damn thing changed!
I stand up for black women because it's what I'm supposed to do.
It's all one fight. The same people that suppress the vote, they'll suppress your living rate.
It's standing up for freedom, a freedom that knows action, a love that is in action.
Enough is enough!
I'm not sleeping and I'm not done until we get justice.
Ain't no turning, people don't stop.
What's got to go? Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Let's go to what's got to go!
Why is everybody, why is the police fighting against us, but they're supposed to be helping us? That doesn't make sense.
If black women don't do it, then
Welcome back, and we're doing interviews after what was the Meet the Finalists for the Independent Monitor for the what is called the Community Commitment Louisville Consent Decree. And here on the camera we have none other than,
Felicia Newman from the Louisville Urban League.
and just like I asked anyone and everyone that I'm interviewing right now, first question: what is your feelings overall of this event?
I felt it was under marketed. There should have been more people here. It should be more than one event. It should be a couple of events. Like there should have been one in the East End. There should have been one in the South End, but there wasn't. But overall, I like the presentations of the two groups.
And another question I had is, as it was said, there was a survey that is apparently being administered right now or within the next hour, giving citizens 24 hours to respond, so they can decide, whoever they is, to decide whether 21 CP Solutions or Effective Law Enforcement for All will be selected as the independent monitor. What are your thoughts on that time frame?
I think it's a made up time frame. Like, why 24 hours? Why not the rest of the week? A lot of people may watch this on Metro TV later with their families. And why do we have to do an arbitrary timeline that really means nothing? Because a week won't make a difference.
I agree. On the subject of surveys, as it relates to the two listening sessions that took place leading up to this event, there was another survey that was released after that, and a record show from the city that 192 people responded to that particular survey. Now, my question to you is, with that low percentage as it relates to the city's population that this consent decree will affect, do you think that this process has the chance to be effective?
I'm going to be optimistic, and I hope that it does. But I feel as if I want it to be effective. I want it to work. But it doesn't seem like the marketing is behind it, right? The money and the marketing is not behind it. You can't post something one time on the Louisville Metro website and then expect people to be interested. You got to flood the zone, flood all the social medias, and do that.
I completely agree. As many questions as I could ask, but I don't want to take up too much of your time, Ms. Newman. Is there anything else you want to add before we
Nope.
close out?
I think you guys asked me some great questions. Thank you.
I appreciate it very much. Enjoy the rest of this event.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, now.
Hey, I know you're watching the live stream right now, but I want to take a moment to tell you to check out this new book right here over my shoulder. Believe me, it'll be worth it.
Once again, we're here after the Meet the Finalists event for Independent Monitor as it relates to what is called the Community Commitment Louisville Consent Decree. I'm here with candidate for Metro Council District 5, April Hearn. Ms. Hearn, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
It's a pleasure. I wanted to ask you, first question, what are your thoughts overall of this event?
So overall, I am hopeful. It's not the people's consent decree, so I have my feelings towards that. I would like to see more of what was in the people's consent decree in this whole independent monitoring and the community contract or whatever they call it. However, what I will say, while I am hopeful, the conversations that I heard today do leave me with some questions.
And speaking of questions, the next question I have for you is there's a survey that is to be released and maybe released now. Do you think the time frame is enough time to really get enough people involved in deciding which group they want to choose?
No, I don't. Not so much because of the time. I don't because of the way they're going about distribution. If they went to the communities and worked with the communities and like canvas, knock doors, go to neighborhood associations and pass them out in between, with the people there and things of that nature, then maybe we would. But I don't think the number that they're going to speak on is not going to represent the number that they actually talk to. And that is how communities end up underserved.
Now, do you believe, with that being said, do you believe either way, whether effective law enforcement for all or 21 CP solutions, do you think this process will be effective?
No, I don't think it is going to be effective because I have problems whenever we have the police policing themselves. They may not be LMPD, but they spoke about having people from police task force on their as a part of their group, and so that raises concerns for me. I think that we have people also right here in the city of Louisville, Kentucky, that would do an amazing job, if not better, because they are more familiar with the culture. But I am open to seeing what somebody from the outside can bring in. He started to speak on reduction as it related to crime in other cities, but he really didn't go into great detail. They stuck more along community engagement.
And just before we close out, is there anything else you wanted to add that maybe we didn't discuss so far?
The one thing that I'll add is the conversation that the gentleman had about the inspector general and how in different states the inspector general does not have a good relationship with the community. And for who we have in office right now, that just is not true. We have his back. We're fighting for him to be able to stay in the seat that he is in. We trust him, and we want to see what is best for him. So I couldn't agree with that part, and I think that that needs to be highlighted as they make their decisions.
You must be referring to the current Inspector General, Ed Harness.
Yes, absolutely, Ed Harness. Yes, and so Ed Harness is somebody that I feel like the community can trust. He has proven that time and time again. I also feel like you know there's a good chance we may lose him, because not everybody feels that way. However, it's not the community that feels that way. It is the people that he works with. It is LMPD. That is where his opposition comes from, and not from we the people, not from the community.
If you were to give a message to community, given the fact that you do not believe this process, whether again 21 CP solutions or ELIPA, will be effective, what can community do to truly come up either? What can community do to fulfill this entire process that's been going on for maybe 4 years now, leading up to this?
Well, I always love the term that you used. We save ourselves, right? And so I think that we need to start having more town hall meetings. I think that we need to start coming together, even if it's just neighborhoods coming together, and then like the community meeting that Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins had. We can bring our collective thoughts from the neighborhoods to something, to a form that's on a bigger platform or a bigger level. And if you see crime, say something. If you experience crime, share that experience, like, different things like that. But I think that we have gotten to a point where we have to stop relying on somebody to come and rescue us. And we have to get out there and do it ourselves.
Candidate for Metro Council District 5, April Hearn, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
Healthy Beginnings Connect Us offers resources, classes, and more. Visit us at 1141 South 2nd Street or www.blackbirthjustice.org.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Hey y'all, I'm Attica
Scott, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're today on State Watch Nights.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
And you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.